That's all the sketches. That's not in the correct position, mind you, at the moment. Next bit is all this section, and then all the other bits I'm going to do separately, because you can't do all this all in one go. I've got to put the rocket in the back, and obviously that bit on the back, and then there's bits that go on the side of the helmet which I've got to do separately. You know, these bits here. Finish that side off, and then the opposite side. I'm not going to do what do you call it, a cape on the back, because it's just, apart from what, it's just not worth it doing just that little bit there. So I'm doing that bit separate, okay, which I've got there drawn all up, which is going to be done, and then I've got that I'm going to fix separately, okay. The bits on the sides of the shoulders, that bit there, the stand, is that. I'm going to do this section next, and then that section there, which that goes on last, okay. So you got, goes onto the plinth. I've numbered them actually anyway. Helmet first, second the bodywork, and so on. That's the only way basically to get this all together properly. So you've got that bodywork in there, the arm support, sort of supports and so on. The trouble is it's mechanical, and unlike a lot of carvings you do, you've got to get this so right, the shape. In order to get that shape done properly, I've had to use all templates for everything, because otherwise you can't get it uniform. It's I've got some more somewhere, I don't know what I've done with them. Obviously these are going to be dark, green in here, red up round there, so and I'm going to do I've got some special paper which has got a sort of almost a sunglass effect on it, dark, which I'm going to fit inside there. This stuff is quite good, this one. It's a sanding paper, but it's like a cloth. It's very good because you can get, and if you work on the grain, going with the grain, you get a much smoother surface. Get all those nice and neatly sanded off inside. The trouble with this, in a way, because it's a wooden model as opposed to plastic or metal, is that when we start putting this bit on the top here, this camera thing, that's going to be very dainty and it's going to break if anybody hits it. Oh, excuse me. On the back here, there's a plate comes up, and it comes up and goes up and over and down again, and all the bits and pieces are all fitted to that plate. That bit running up there and going over the top and down again this side. Well, that back piece is all one plate which fits on his back, and all this lot, including that and everything else, all fits to that plate. So you can see I'm going to have a hell of a job trying to cut all these out carefully, because you know this is it's wood, and you know, you can just about see it there. See, look, it comes down there, goes up slightly higher at the back of his neck, and then, sorry, that's the back piece of his neck, yeah, and which I've done on here. Yeah, so this plate here is basically all one piece, so I'm going to do all that separately and build all this up. But the problem I have is you can see the difficulties here. This is quite thin, and for a model as well, having it come up here is going to be, you know, going to put plastic in there, but then I thought it won't stick in there. But I'm going to put some more gloss in there so it's really shiny, because that's the visor, obviously. That didn't have anything in there apart from lots of damage.
Yeah.
But this side obviously had the symbol, which I've got to tidy up a bit. Plus it had lots of obviously damage in there as well. I couldn't do it any more with this back. I'm going to put some black brown lines in, which is on the back of that. But the trouble is, if you have a look here, it's so difficult to do small items like that, because even if you do it with the length of the wood, they break. Look, snapped off that one, snapped off that one, snapped off that one. I did this thing so many bloody times I got frustrated with it. Look, another one I was working on and that snapped. In the end, Jan gave me a bit of bamboo, which is this section here, and the bamboo had a little hole in it, so I was able to plug that, do that bit separately and plug that in and shape it. And obviously that's got to be a greasy brown in there, because it's some sort of mechanical bit. Look, dark. And I've got to put some lines on there, and you know, just titivating it now. And I'm not sure whether I think the explosions and the brakes and all the patchiness helps it, but I suppose it does make it look as though he's been in a bit of a battle.